increasing number of comparisons by Chelsea fans. You and Eden Hazard, you do look very similar as you play.
Obviously, he was an incredible player for Chelsea, and he's a world-class player. So I'm not trying to compare myself to him just yet. I'm just trying to, be my own player, and yeah, hopefully the fans like that guy. So.
How tight do you see this being, Christian, in terms of the Champions League fight?
Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the end. We're going to need to continue to get results, one after the other. So, yeah, we're excited, but, we're confident we can do it.
And lastly, happy Independence Day. What would you be doing? What should you be doing?
If I was home in the US, I'd just be, having a barbecue with my family and just enjoying Independence Day.
Oh, you're in the rain in London instead, but well played.
Yeah, just as good. Thank you.
Well done, mate. Mason, right at the heart of that, man of the match. How good a Chelsea performance was it?
Yeah, I'm quite surprised I got man of the match, to be fair.
Why?
I didn't think I did that bad. I was just trying to keep the ball and keep it ticking over. I mean, Ross got a goal and assist, didn't he? And the other boys, Ollie. But yeah, no, brilliant performance. Spoke before the game of we needed to have that reaction and come out and show what we can do. It was a must-win, as I said before, and we did that. I think we was in the final third, we was clinical, taking our chances. We could have had a couple more, but in a game where we had a lot of possession, we switched off a couple times. And you can't do that at this level; you get punished. So yeah, there's things to work on, but other than that, it was a great performance.
In fairness, I think you were named man of the match before Ross got his goal, so maybe that might be back in some sort of dispute.
Yeah, it was a great finish by him, getting in the box. So yeah, that's why I thought he could have got it. Yeah.
How do you enjoy that combination with you and Ross, with Conte behind you as well?
Yeah, it's when you got N'Golo behind you, so solid, covers everywhere. You don't really need to worry too much about getting back and defending because he's always there. So that's a massive help. And me and Ross, all we try to do is try to link the play up and get in the box and try and score goals and create chances. That's our kind of job when we're in the team. Yeah, I thought it worked well tonight. And yeah, hopefully we can keep creating chances and scoring goals.
Combined well for the first goal, didn't you? How important was it that you wrapped that pass into him with quite a bit of pace?
Yeah, it's we started off and they had 2 blocks of 4, making it difficult for us to kind of break them down and get chances. So that kind of through pass, you have to punch it in because if you don't, it's going to get intercepted. And I tried to disguise it a bit, not show where I was going to pass, and I see him in the pocket and I just tried to wrap it in, and obviously good touch, good through ball pass to Ollie, and it was good timing from Ollie and a good finish.
How much do you think you needed that win this evening? Has it felt like it's been maybe a bit of a nervy week? You lost, teams around you were winning, and it's felt like it was closing in on you a little bit, but back into the top 4 now?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a nervy week. It's down to us to perform. We're in a good position. We was in a good position before West Ham, and obviously we took a loss, but that's the kind of how our season's gone. We've bounced back from a lot of defeats, and we showed that tonight. We can bounce back, we can get the wins when the pressure's on, and we, as I said before, we just need to keep going now and get as many 3 points as we can.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well done, mate. Thank you.
Well, Mason Mount surprised to get the man of the match award, and to be fair, it was given before Ross Barkley got his goal. But actually, it was difficult to pick out one player from Chelsea's performance.
Yeah, I think as mentioned to Jamie, I think I would have chose Ross. I just think him and Mason worked very well today, but I think the way Barkley moved around the pitch, his intelligent little movements and runs, and to top it off with a great finish, so I would have given it to him. But Mason was brilliant again today. As he mentioned, he keeps it ticking for the team, keeps the ball moving quick, and he was one of the top performers today.
It was an all-round good performance from Chelsea. Let's start by looking at Olivier Giroud's opening goal.
Yeah, it was. They started the game really well, Kelly, because you don't know what the reaction is going to be like after you lose, an important derby against West Ham. But I think one of the reasons why Mason Mount did get man of the match for Fallon was things like this. Passes. The pace of that pass sets this up. Chalobah tries to intercept it, but because it's so fast, it's fizzed into it and makes it difficult. Ross Barkley gets on the half-turn. It's a great run by Giroud and a really cute finish. It's a really difficult one. He just manages to get it into the other corner. And once that goal goes in, everyone just settles down. It calms the nerves. And then they play some great stuff after that. They really controlled the game. There's about a 10-minute spell in the second half when Watford had a few chances. Danny Welbeck started to improve them. But that certainly helped.
What about the penalty incident that led to the second goal? Because he came from nowhere, really.
Yeah, I admire him for that work ethic to get back and try to support a teammate, but I just think Pulisic was a little bit too clever. As I mentioned at half-time, I want my midfielders tracking players and helping me out, but I just think Pulisic was a little bit too cute and clever from there, and he's given away a penalty maybe at a wrong time when Watford, going into half-time 2-0 down, then I think the game was over then.
4 penalties this season, 4 penalties scored by Willian, 9 Premier League goals. That's his best goal-scoring season in 7 seasons at Chelsea. So an impressive performance from him as well. And then, of course, it was the Ross Barkley goal in stoppage time. Yeah,
and Ashley and I were talking about this because I don't think it focuses. He's the deepest player there. He's just wandering outside the box now. He's just on the 18-yard box. And not like his movement, he doesn't have to do a lot. He's walking, sort of starts to jog there. The ball falls to him. It's a good first touch, and he just lashes that with pure aggression into the roof of the net. And it just shows you something. We speak about great movement. Lacazette earlier on, he's moving, he's getting across the front post there, just falls to him, and that is just instinctive. But it's so powerful, and that's what Ross is capable of. We saw it in his Everton days. And since the restart, he's been brilliant for Frank Lampard. He's been one of the first names on the sheet. There's a lot of competition for places in that midfield. People like Jorginho isn't getting a game. Billy Gilmour, who was in such fine form before the restart. So he should be so proud of what he's doing because he does possess so much power. And he can do special things. Like sometimes it's the unexpected. That's what I like about him. He doesn't always keep it simple. He goes past people. He's got a bit of everything, actually, hasn't he?
Yeah, sometimes I don't think he knows what he's doing at times.
Yeah.
But no, I think he's been quality for Chelsea. And you talk about that movement. Sometimes it's just about occupying space, and he done that, and it's a great touch. And then to finish with his left foot roof of the net, I think, he topped off a great performance.
Watford, though, may have felt that they'd put a little bit of a cushion between themselves and the bottom 3 at one point under Nigel Pearson, but they find themselves just 1 point away from the relegation places. We'll get the thoughts of Nigel Pearson next. It was a 3-0 defeat for Watford against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge this evening. It leaves them just 1 point and 1 place outside the drop zone. Let's hear from Nigel Pearson. He's with Patrick Davison.
Well, Nigel, of course, not the result you wanted, but can you take something from your players' efforts tonight, from their commitment?
Definitely. I thought we played with discipline, and I just said to the players there, sometimes it's hard when you've got players who would normally contribute in a different way. They're having to work particularly hard for the team to keep us shape and try and make it difficult for our opponents. Of course, we'd like to spend more time on the ball, but we're playing against a very good side today, who we knew they were probably going to have a response from their last game. And I think to concede in the second half was a bit painful, because I think we worked exceptionally hard. The subs had impact. We showed the qualities that were missing, not probably missing, that were missing last week. And I think it's really important for us now to recognise what's going to give us the best chance of winning games. And it's certainly got to be showing the sort of team ethic and work rate that we did tonight. You probably know the saying that cricketers have about having to play yourself back into nick, and I think we are having to do that. We don't have, time's not on our side in terms of number of games left, so we've got to be brave enough, and I thought we were brave tonight in terms of wanting the ball, trying to make things happen. It wasn't our night, and we conceded at times which were, again, it takes some courage to come back into it. So I thought the second half performance in particular was one that we can build on, because we did create some decent opportunities, even though we spent so long without the ball. It's a test of players' both character and understanding, and also the concentration levels. It's important for us.
So to continue your sort of cricketer-batsman analogy then, what sort of an innings would that be that we've just seen?
Yeah, probably from an opening batsman, a scrappy 30 or 40. Yeah, but look, we are aware of, when people. I've been asked a couple of questions about whether I'm worried, and Of course we're concerned with the situation that we're in. We're not naive. But the most important thing is to recognise what we are and make sure that our performances reflect that type of collective spirit. If we do that, we will find ways of winning games. What we can't do is reproduce games like last week where we were disjointed, and I have to take the responsibility for that because it's my team, and I'm happy to do that. But well, not happy to do it. It hurts, but it's a situation that we've got now to stay in control of our own destiny, and that's what we want to do. And to do that, we've got to work as hard as tonight, if not harder.
Well, Nigel Pearson is looking for hard work. He also mentioned the impact of the substitutions. Danny Welbeck doesn't have a goal in 13 appearances for Watford, but did he give them their best chance?
Yeah, absolutely. He was a spark today, and I'm sure that Nigel Pearson, we look at it, when he gets on that coach on the way back to Watford, he might make a bit of a difference for us for the rest of the season. He was mobile, he was energetic, he created chances for himself. He was a bit unlucky. He tried to set that one out into the far post. And he was really, really good. This is what I really like about him. When he gets one-on-one with Christensen, he rolls him, gets round him, great bit of pace. And that's what you need. And they need somebody to just light the fire. They need someone, because they haven't got Delafeu, who's out obviously with cruciate ligament injury. He might be that player, but he's got to produce these moments regularly, Ashley, isn't he?
Yeah, obviously I don't know the full extent of his, the injuries and the history of his injuries, but I think seeing the performance tonight, if you're getting a good 15-20 minutes out of him, you're going to see skill, you're going to see quality that he can bring to Watford, and they need goals. And I feel if you get him in front of the goal, he was unlucky with the chance, it was a great save, but he's a kind of out-and-out striker. Yes, he'll run the channels, but he wants to score goals, he wants to get in front of the goal. So I think he will be a big miss for Watford. They need to get him back to full fitness, I think.
No problems for Chelsea in front of goal this evening. They scored 3 of them. Here's Frank Lampard with Patrick Davison.
Frank, well done. What did you like most about what you saw from your team this evening?
Clean sheet at home, 3 goals. We played some nice stuff. It's difficult against a low block sometimes, a team that come here and defend. So I think the way we broke it down at times was good. I think we could have been better in the second half with the speed of our pass, a bit more incisive. The second half of the first half, we started to break lines more and turn on the ball quicker. I thought we came a bit safe in the second half, but clean sheet. Set pieces, they're a big team. People are looking at us as set pieces now. We defended them really well. So a comfortable evening for us.
How important is that midfield partnership of Ross Barkley and Mason Mount, with N'Golo Kanté as well behind them, but just in terms of unpicking a low block, which you have struggled with at times this season?
Yeah, and when you have 2 players in those sort of advanced midfield positions, number 8s, whatever you call them, they're against a team like Watford, and you have to respect Watford greatly because they're a dangerous team, but if they're going to be low, you need to get players behind their midfield, not be safe and go behind, and then have the natural ability to turn and make forward passes and make the right run. Mason's pass for I remember the build-up was at the first goal when he wraps it through the line. Those are the passes you have to risk at times. And Ross getting those positions, making little angle runs. I like obviously working with that position because it was somewhere where I played. And them 2 tonight, we've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. We've got Billy Gilmore. And N'Golo can play that higher role as well. And it's important that we have quality in that area to unlock the door.
Christian Pulisic's obviously a big influence for you at the moment. What do you make of the comparisons between him and Eden Hazard? Because I keep seeing them more and more, actually, not less and less.
I don't want to get involved in that one too much because I know Eden's well, they can both go by players and they're great to watch. Eden did it here, and was sensational what he did. And his input personally into club winning trophies in his years. So I don't want to get on that comparison quite. But at the same stage, I don't want to take away from Christian because what he's showing now is a real natural ability and a balance and a speed to dribble with the ball. The next step for him is more end product, more goals, more assists. But in this small restart, he's already showing that, and he looks great. He had injury problems this season, so he's a good one. He's a really good one. I'm very happy with him.
How big a win was that, Frank, after West Ham? And maybe after other results early today, it's getting right towards the end now, and maybe you are looking a bit more at other teams that are around you.
Yeah, we'll have to accept that pressure, whatever it means. Pre-West Ham, we could have gone third, and we let ourselves down. Today, there's a bit of pressure to get back to fourth, and we produced. So that we'll get used to that pressure, whatever way it looks, because it's going to be tough all the way through.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
It is going to be tough. Let's take a look at how tough. Take a breath, Jamie, and take a look at all of these fixtures that we've got of the teams who have hopes of finishing in the Champions League places. This is a mammoth graphic. It's called The Beast, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in there and their remaining fixtures. Let's take a look at Chelsea first of all. In terms of their next few games, do they look winnable?
Yeah, they certainly do. There's two that are obviously tricky. Liverpool away, when Liverpool are going to get the trophy, and then Wolves at home feels like it's a big one as well. But then Man United have got the dream fixtures up until Leicester away. It's going to be really, really tight. Leicester's fixtures are difficult, but I would have to say, I don't know if you agree, actually, if you were to have anybody's fixtures there, you would probably say Man United's right now.
Yes, but yes, I would.
Give me a second. but look, even you look at Manchester United with Villa, Southampton, Palace, West Ham, and then Leicester on the final day of the season, which could be a really interesting one. But just to take a look at another Euro clubs, when we were covering the Arsenal win against Wolves, you know, you were saying those players will be looking at possibly finishing in the Champions League places. They've got 49 points, but their next three, Leicester, Tottenham, and Liverpool could decide whether or not it's a serious challenge.
Yeah, I think when it's coming to the top four, I think it's tough. I don't think now you could, or I couldn't put my money on who's going to finish in the top four. I think it's probably out of the top 7. Again, if you're saying Arsenal's there, then why you can't say Sheffield United's there?
Exactly.
So. For me, I think it's too hard to pick. I just hope Chelsea make it.
Well, and Arsenal.
And Arsenal. Yeah,
You don't mean that.
Jamie?
Oh, I think United with those fixtures and the form they're in, Mason Greenwood and the impact that Bruno has made at that club has just been phenomenal. So I think Man United and Chelsea as well. And Leicester. Top 5 I'm going.
Well, it could be 5.
I think it's going to be 5.
Jamie, Ashley, thank you very much for your company.